Sign up for the free WagerTalk text club to gain access to free plays and exclusive discounts. Just text WagerTalk to 33222 to sign up and get a $10 coupon to use on WagerTalk.com.
Hey guys, welcome in a very special edition here of the NBA Tip-Off Show, powered by WagerTalk.com, of course. We got two more games in the association tonight. That's right, two more games on our way to try to figure out a little bit closer to an NBA champion this year. And a couple of, one team for sure back against the wall, that being the Milwaukee Bucks, trying not to go down 3-0 against the Nets. That'll be the early game. And then, of course, on the late game tonight, guys, we got ourselves out west game 2 between Utah and the Clippers. And we've got two of the very best with us here today, minus Tony Finn, thank goodness, who is either in jail, under the car, or he's in a field somewhere and doesn't realize what his name is. Either way, doesn't matter. We got two of the best here. Ski Prophet in the house, as well as Mr. Robert Vino. And exciting time here, guys, tonight. This is I love these urgency games, which is all we can really ever hope for as sports fans and certainly sports bettors. When teams, they are backed up against the wall. And we're going to learn a lot about this Milwaukee Bucks team tonight here, Ski, I am sure. But how'd it go last night for you? And more importantly, what do you got tonight at WagerTalk.com for us?
Yesterday wasn't good in the NBA. I took a step backwards. I know at one point in that first half, Denver was shooting like 7% from three, and that's not going to be good when you have a first half over. So that was a fail. And DeAndre Ayton needed one basket, didn't play the fourth quarter, so that one didn't cash either. Look to do better today.
Yeah, we are, and we're going to get it better here today, guys. Absolutely exciting time. A couple of different angles in these two games here that we will cover for you. But, Rob, talk to us, my man. How was your night last night? Were you shocked at the final score of that game last night? And what do you got coming up here at WagerTalk.com?
Yeah, I was shocked in a way, Joe. I wind up going 1-1. I had Phoenix minus the 2.5 in the first half, which was rather easy. And, when you're looking at 94 points at halftime and you have full game over 223.5, you don't think you have much chance. But somehow, some way, those teams almost got me there. I mean, if Denver could have made a free throw or anything, probably would have hit 224. They end up at 221. It's funny, show you how stupid I am. I mean, I'm texting back and forth with Ski a little bit before the game, and I said I can't really see Denver scoring just 105 again. Well, they could score 98, even worse than what I thought. So that kept that game under the number. But Phoenix looks dominant right now, Joe. No doubt about it. We'll see what happens when they go back to the Mile High City. As for tonight, I don't often have these at all. I think I've only had one this season, but I have a 5% NBA play up and available today, WagerTalk.com. Have Major League Baseball up there as well. I think there's 3 MLB plays. So it's all up there right now, WagerTalk.com.
Ooh, man, loaded night here. Both Ski and Rob up and ready to go, guys. Locked and loaded at Wager Talk, so make sure you head over there. Visit Ski's page. Visit Rob Vino's page while we visit our angle of the day. And who better to go to than our good friend, Mr. John Ryan, over at sportsmemo.com as we take a look at this Brooklyn-Milwaukee game 3 here tonight. And our good friend John Ryan's betting angle says that we should be betting on underdogs in a matchup of winning record teams. And if the favorite is coming off a humiliating 20 or more point defeat and they are installed as a favorite, well, then here's what we got. A 22-6 ATS. That's almost a 79% winning percentage over the last 5 seasons, including the playoffs. Last 3 seasons, which marks the increase in scoring from 111.5 points per game. That's up from 106 in 2017. Well, that record now, 12-4 against the number. That is 75% here over the last 3 years. The bottom line is, when you think you should be going Milwaukee, go to Brooklyn Nets and anticipate them to take a commanding 3-0 series lead. Now, Rob, I'm going to come to you first here as we take a look at this opening number. I saw a lot of 3.5s. I saw some 4s. It seems to be settled right around the 3.5 in most places. I am seeing 233 right now, a couple of 233.5s in some spots as well. So the total coming down just a nick, but ultimately, listen, we saw 2 very similar games from the Nets against this Bucks team. Adjustments were not there for the Bucks. So what do you anticipate different we're going to see outside of the arena they'll be playing in here tonight?
Well, if you're the Bucks, Joe, you hope you see some 3-pointers go through the hoop, because right now, after 2 games, a team that's reliant upon 3-point shooting, they're 14 of 57, 24.6%. It's very uncharacteristic of the Bucks. It's unlike Mike Budenholzer teams, and it's not going to get it done against the Nets, especially when you look at the other side of that and see that these 2 teams have played 5 times this season. And again, we'll reiterate that not once in those 5 games did all 3 of the Nets' big 3 play. James Harden missed 4 of those 5, and obviously he's going to miss again tonight. But in those 5 games, while Milwaukee's been horrible from 3 in the playoff series, the Nets have hit 15 or more 3-pointers in every single game against the Bucks so far this year, 21 last game. So it's kind of hard to think that the Nets won't make their share of 3s in this game. Milwaukee's going to have to, rise up and make some shots, especially, like I say, when your team is predicated on that, you have to do it. But there's plenty of other problems, right? The Bucks are 53.6% from the free throw line. And to make matters worse, last game they shoot 9 free throws. And in a game where, admittedly, I had over in that previous contest, game 2, Milwaukee shoots 9 free throws, and the Nets only shoot 7. That game moves so fast. It's as if somebody wanted to get the heck out of there real quick because there were no free throws in that game. We'll see if it changes here, but the Bucks just haven't shot well from the free throw line, so you add that to the 3-point woes. That's not good. The Nets are supposed to be the isolation team offensively. Milwaukee's supposed to be the team that spreads it around, but their assist-to-field goal percentage is lousy as well. 46.7% first game, so they don't even assist on half their baskets, and even less, 37.8 last game. Not making shots has a lot to do with that. You can't get an assist if you brick every shot, but still, it looked like Milwaukee was very stagnant offensively to me in that last game. The Nets are shooting it so well, Joe. I'll say this. All that statistical stuff that I just gave in playoff basketball, situations kind of override that stuff when you're trying to handicap these games. And if Milwaukee does not, if ever there's a time to come out from the opening tip and play well, it would be tonight. It's interesting that the first half line is -3 and the game line is 3.5, right? Odds makers are expecting a push out of the Bucks right off the bat. I think you'll see it. If you don't, it's over with. I mean, you can in-game bet the Nets till the cow come home if Milwaukee doesn't produce a good first half here, because if it gets in their head, if they're losing at halftime and it gets in their head, they're not coming back in the second half. So I think you probably get a pretty good first half out of Milwaukee. If I had to play, that's the way I'd play it.
So, Ski, listen, pride on the line, call it what you want. When you lose by, 39, down by as many as 49 in that game 2, just totally embarrassed. But they did win 2 games against these Nets at home. They have, historically, done well against this Brooklyn Nets team for whatever reason. No Harden here tonight. So are you? How confident are you that the Milwaukee Bucks can get back on track and get one in the win column?
Not confident at all. I mean, if you're telling me that they beat the Bucks all the time, what are we talking about, the regular season? Because, I mean, the postseason, we see what the Bucks do every single year. And it looks like that's the route that we're headed again this year. To the point of what Rob said about, the first half line and expecting the Bucks to win this game, we saw the same thing with Miami, and they got swept out the building. So I don't know. It's hard to see ways that the Bucks win just because the Nets are scoring so easily. They do pistol action and just get easy shots every single time. If KD comes around the screen You're either going to give them an easy shot or you have to double, and that leaves Kyrie, or that leaves Joe Harris, or that leaves the next guy. And they just have shooters for days. And we know Milwaukee has never been a good team defending the perimeter. So I see the Nets getting easy baskets all night. And how are the Bucks getting their baskets? I mean, it seems like the Nets just want to sag off of Giannis and send extra help elsewhere until Giannis touches the paint. Then they'll actually pay him some attention. And it's making the shots harder for everybody else. So until they start to fix it, like, I think there's a couple ways they can fix it, but do I trust Coach Buden, however you say his name? I always screw it up. I don't trust him to do anything. So I'll say if you can get like Drew Holiday, kind of more towards that baseline and going towards the inside so they can get some pick and roll with Giannis, so you can get more of those lob type looks, then you can have success. If they stop trying to pick on better defenders and pick on Joe Harris, you could have success. But once again, I don't trust the coach to have him ready to do that. And I see the Brooklyn Nets scoring easily. So I would take the Nets plus 140 or whatever it is to win the game.
So history tells us the numbers are pretty daunting here, that teams that go 2-0 in a best-of-7 series, it's in the 90 percentile there that they eventually end up going on to win the series. So will they win it, the Nets, tonight and take that 3-0 commanding lead? We'll have to see, but obviously some of that value in the series price is out the window if you're still looking the Nets here. But Milwaukee, pride is on the line. Some opportunities here tonight, total and side, guys, not to mention, of course, props. We'll see if these guys have a best bet in this game coming up. But we will, and as you can see there, almost a $5 Nets favorite here in the series. Plus 360, though, if you think the opportunity exists for the Milwaukee Bucks to make a comeback here. And who knows? We have seen injuries to key players in the playoffs before, and series take a shift or shit, one or the other. But I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying it has happened. So we'll keep an eye on that. And we'll move, of course, to the late game, guys. 10 o'clock here tonight. 10 o'clock Eastern tip between Game 2 of the Clippers and the Jazz. Donovan Mitchell making his presence known. Opens up at -3. I'm still seeing a lot of threes. There are a couple of 2.5s. I am seeing 223s in a number of places as well. So the total coming up here a little bit, Ski. I give you credit, man. You said in Game 1 you were anticipating some rust here for a Jazz team that hadn't played in almost, I think it was 9 days. And when you miss 21, 22, 23 shots in a row there to start the game, yeah, there's some rust. But what they did in the second half was just phenomenal. And I know people are saying the Clippers look tired, but they don't have any 2 days off here. There is no recouping. There's like 1 day off, travel, you got to play another game. So the way this series is scheduled, there's not a lot of opportunities for the Clippers to rest. So what do you think we're going to see tonight from them?
Well, really quick, I probably would look more towards Nets exact series prices rather than trying to play the Nets in that series. I think we can go ahead and get the Bucks out of there real quick and easy.
Throw that out.
But what do I expect from the Clippers? I think that they'll have more energy in this game, and I think that they feel good after the way the game ended, and they only lost by a little bit. I know they're up. They don't like that, but they know that they can compete with this team. You don't have Mike Conley again, so, my look is on the total, but if I have to play the side, I guess I would have a lean towards the Clippers. One thing I will say, though, is, you got Scott Foster in there. He's with the tricky business. And Maddox, I think he's pro Jazz and against the Clippers, so take that for what you want. My look on the total, that first game, like you said, they missed 1,000 shots to start the game off. Both teams combined shot, 41.5% from the field. You only had 6 fast break points, and they got to 221 in that game. So, the Jazz are going to live and die by the 3. They shot 50 in the first game. They've been doing it all season. They're not going to stop. And the Clippers, I think, shot 42, or maybe it's vice versa, but they both shot 92 three-pointers is what I'm trying to say. And if they're not shooting threes, they're getting to the line. They shot 50 free throws. So if you can even get more than 6 fast break points, I think we get well up and over this number. I don't think we see a rusty start from the Jazz. I think both teams shoot higher than 41.5% from the field, and we get up and over this number.
Rob, he brings up a two crazy numbers, right? 50 combined free throws, 92 three-pointers they chucked up too as well here. It's bonkers when you think about it, because both of these teams are really good when they clamp down, when they play some defense. So what do you think we're going to get here tonight in this game?
Yeah, I think that if Robert just runs back the tape of everything you and Ski just said, I don't have to say anything, because a lot of what I was going to say is already said. But yeah, just go over a couple of things real quick here, guys. I mean, Ski pointed out the field goal percentage combined. They were both lousy from the field. And I know if you're going to make a side case, and I was on another show yesterday with Tony Mejia, colleague of ours, and he gave all the reasons why the Clippers should feel confident after game one, and I gave all the reasons why the Jazz should feel confident after game one. So you can make a legitimate case for both sides here. And Joe, it starts with what you led off with. When you miss 17 shots in a row and you still win a playoff game, that's pretty good. So the 92 combined three-pointers, when I was doing the box scores that night, I highlighted that once. I highlighted it twice, 15 times if I could, because 92 three-pointers. And then you watch Quinn Snyder post-game, and Quinn Snyder says, we're going to continue to do what we do, which is in the playoffs, when you're that good, you do what you do. And the Clippers do the same thing, right? It was the best three-point shooting team in the NBA percentage-wise this season. Not only that, Ski talked about free throws. They had the best free throw percentage for a team in the history of the NBA this year, almost 84% from the free throw line. So not only do they get there, they make it. Now, I'll say that some of the Utah 26 free throws, maybe come late a little bit, but still you're anticipating a close game. So you would expect some free throws here. First half total hasn't budged off of where it was in game one, Joe. And again, they almost got there despite that lousy first quarter. So 113 looks a little bit low to me in this particular game. I think the Utah crowd is very real as far as helpful to the Jazz is concerned. Probably the best crowd I've seen so far. We have yet to see Atlanta. We'll see Milwaukee tonight, but I can't imagine any crowd being louder or more helpful to a team than the Utah one is. So, if I had to play side, I'd probably be looking Utah first half. Maybe they only have to win by a bucket. It's like 1.5. They played well without Mike Conley. Last year, we used to laugh at Mike Conley, right, and say that he was more of a deterrent being in the lineup than he is a help. But this year, that's been the exact opposite. Mike Conley would be a huge help. But still, so many shooters around the perimeter. And the same goes for the Clippers. Marcus Morris Sr., 1 for 9 from three-point range. That's going to change tonight. I mean, those looking at props, I doubt very much that he's going to shoot 9% from three-point range here in this game. So there's a lot inside this game to look at, too, as far as betting angles go.
Ski, let me ask you, man, because I know you're honed in on the Clippers, man. I know you got a lot of love for playoff P. But is it me, or it just doesn't seem like he can shoot anymore? Like he's lost his touch, and it really does. And I don't know if it's mental, if it's still with the shoulder issue, but is it me, or like Kawhi can't do it all? We know that. And I don't know that anybody can bank on Paul George being consistent enough to be there with him. Is it almost an instant fade of Paul George when it comes to games like this?
Well, I'm expecting a lot of points in this game, so I really don't want an underprop. But you don't have to pull my arm too hard to fade Paul George. I think that's always the way I'm going to look. There you go. There's the graph.
Yeah.
Most playoff games shooting 25% or worse. He's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Can't give him peace, so. If I look for a prop, it'll be the other game. Sorry, I don't have.
No, that's fun. I just because I know how much you love playoff P. But Rob, I mean, honestly, is it an injury? Is it? I don't know what it is, but when I watch him play, it's like, okay, you chuck up 100 shots. I get some of those are going to go in, but it just doesn't. He doesn't seem like the Paul George they thought he was going to be here. I don't know what to attribute it to.
Yeah, it's at some point you run out of excuses, right, Joe? I mean, game one's excuse for the Clippers is they look fatigued. Okay, you're 4 for 17, maybe because you come off a 7-game series where, Luka was a pain in the neck to try and contain. Not that he did a lot of that lifting, but certainly it was a tough series to win. But still, Joe, he gets shots, or he's gotten shots that are very makeable in Paul
Yeah.
George range. So I don't know. I mean, the guy, I have not read anything that would suggest he's injured.
Right.
But, wilting under the playoff pressure certainly seems to be habitual for Paul George. So we'll see if he can straighten it out tonight. I would expect, you get a lot of open floor in this game, and he should see shots again.
Mhm.
He was 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Let's not take that away from him.
Right.
He did get to the
Absolutely.
line. He made 9 of 10, so maybe that's what he needs to do. Get to the rim, draw a foul, and score your points that way to get himself going.
Take a look, and I don't know, Will, if you have the series price there, but it's interesting because when I had seen it right after Game 1, it didn't look like it changed an awful lot there. What is it now? So what was the Jazz to begin with, Rob? Was it right around? It was 135 minus 140, I think, before Game 1, and it didn't go up an awful lot. Are you surprised with that?
Well, I think the Clippers attract a lot of money. Remember, Joe, that the Clippers, I forget when we were doing a show, but they were third choice back in that Dallas series when you were just looking ahead at Western Conference Finals, or excuse me, Western Conference Championship. And after they won the Dallas series, they quickly became the runner-up, the second choice. So I think there's a lot of money where the Clippers are concerned. I know it's not Ski's money, but there's a lot of people more than willing to bet the Clippers. And I don't know that the Jazz are a very public team. Even still, it seems to me that people find reasons why the Jazz won't advance, more reasons than why they will. Of all the young players that we see out there, night in and night out, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum back in the other series, we can go on and on. Donovan Mitchell fits right in there. You separate these guys with a sheet of paper. But for me, Donovan Mitchell, if I were drafting, I think I'd grab him. This is a pretty good team, and I don't know why people keep finding excuses not to play him.
Ski, is the time to correlate here. We'll get to the best bets, but if I like the Jazz tonight, am I betting, if I haven't gotten them in the series, is now the time to do it? Because if they go up 2-0, you ain't getting them at this price for the rest of the time, correct?
Well, you might as well just take the money line tonight, right? Because it's less than 200.
Yep, there you go.
That's what I'll do if you like the Jazz tonight.
Yeah, and then, of course, they'll, on the way to the Staples Center, they're probably going to be, what's that line going to be? What's that look-ahead line going to be if Utah is up 2-0? Are they going to be a dog in the Staples Center?
No, they'll be a favorite.
I showed I actually, guys, with power ratings, I showed the Clippers, 3-point favorites at home.
Wow. So just keep taking the Jazz on the money line for the rest of the way, guys. If you missed out, just keep taking the Jazz on the money line. You good to go. All right, guys.
And Joe, if they lose two in Staples and it's 2-2, this price we're looking at tonight might be staring us in the face again in Game 5 because it's evened up again. So it's an interesting way to play this one. It really is. The two teams pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, it's tonight is going to tell us a lot about adjustments and what we're looking at, certainly from the Clippers. I think we know what we're going to get from Utah, but to Rob's point, everyone keeps waiting for the wheels to fall off here. All right, guys, they told you earlier, plays galore here tonight. MLB, a lot of big bets up there tonight, obviously, in the association as well. If you visit both Ski and Rob Vino at WagerTalk.com. You can hop on those best bets right now. There is absolutely zero reason not to make it a profitable evening here in the world of sports. Plenty of baseball games tonight, plenty of value in the association. Hop on those best bets now over at WagerTalk.com. All right, guys, you know it. A lot of different ways we can attack these two games. We'll go ahead, take a best bet from you, best prop, whatever you want to give out in these two games here tonight, Ski. You, my friend, are running point. Talk to us on 60 seconds on the clock. Where are you going tonight? What's the best bet?
I'll just take a couple more seconds really quick to talk about the Bucks. And I don't know. I really think the Nets in 4. I saw like plus 450, maybe it's plus 400 now. It's hard to see the Bucks win another game, especially, you look at their turnovers, more turnovers than assists. That's not the sign of a team that's playing well. So, really enticing to take the Nets. Just like you said, take the Jazz every game when you have them as a dog. For my best bet, I'm going to go back to the other game, though. and it's going to be the total. I mean, I told you all the reasons why. I'll tell you again. Both teams shot super poor, 41.5%. You only had 6 fast break points. They still got to 221. You're going to see, the Jazz live and die by the three. They're going to shoot it till the lights go out if they're up or down. And Clippers are shooting a lot of threes to keep up. So see plenty of opportunities for points in this game. Over number is 223 right now?
Yep.
Best bet.
All right, going over. Expect the Clippers and Jazz to throw up 105 three-pointers in this game here tonight. Should be a lot of fun to watch it go on. All right, Rob, what are you doing, my man? A lot of different angles here, though. What's the one spot you circled for us here tonight?
I'm trying to find it as we speak, Joe. Maybe the guys in production could help me out here. But I really, we talked about it before. I really think that the Marcus Morris senior over 3-pointers prop will hit in that game. I mean, this guy gets the open looks, and he gets them in the spot where he loves them on the baseline. I just cannot see a repeat performance of 1 for 9. So if you're playing props, Marcus Morris, I'll leave that. And I'll give you a play in one of the two games here. The Milwaukee Nets game, Milwaukee has scored in the last, it's interesting. They're losing 63-61 at halftime of the first game. Very competitive, 124 points scored, everything you would expect. And the last 4 quarters are going straight downhill. 23, 23, 19, 22, 24, and 21 is what they've scored. I think there's got to be a reversal here tonight. The Nets still don't play a lot of defense in my mind, so I'm going to try first half, Milwaukee -3. Hope they come out from the opening tip and play a really good game here.
All right. Love it, guys. Plenty of what's the matter? You don't like to look, you see, now the problem is you got Robert searching for 3-point props. He didn't even buzz your ass, Vino. I see what you're doing.
He's not
man.
Supposed to.
Look at it. He can't even switch the damn camera. Look at him. Look at him. That's it. Vino wins. We lose. That's the bottom line there. We will get you that 3-point prop, though, because it is interesting. Oh, now your ass is back, Robert, huh?
Thanks, Robert.
Way to go. Yeah, way to go. What did Vino pay you before the show? Ridiculous. And by the way, did you get the prop? No, now he can't even get his microphone to work. This is absolutely terrible. Bottom line is we have a recap for you, so we're going to go ahead.
I've got it, Joe. Wait a minute. I've got it.
Go ahead.
Let me go ahead.
Oh, we got it.
I showed here Marcus Morris, 3-pointers over 1.5.
Yes.
It's heavy price, -$2, but I don't think you go wrong there. The guy's going to make 2 threes.
Look at Will.
And I hope it's not one of those. I hope it's not one of those love-hate affairs that I had with Lou Williams during the playoffs last year, right? Because I kept banging my head against that lemon pepper Lou prop, and he cost me some money. But I think Morris goes over 1.5 threes.
Not just you, by the way. And look at Will, man. Look, Will's got, I don't know what it is here, Ski, but these guys here between Robert and Will, look at what they're giving him. They're giving him -180. He's throwing out -2, and Will's giving him -180 here over Marcus
Thank you,
Morris.
Will.
Over 1.5 made 3-pointers. I do it. I actually love that prop as well. Ski says, listen, expect some points here tonight between the Clippers and the Jazz. That is going over. Our good friend John Ryan says the angle of the day points to the Nets. Take those 3.5 points, expecting the Nets to be up 3-0. And I do believe Ski's also pointing you towards the exact outcome of the series, which sounds to me like he's talking either 4-0 or 4-1 Nets. So it just sounds like that might be the direction he is going. All right, guys, best bets for the evening up and locked and loaded at WagerTalk.com. Make sure you guys head over there right now. Ski's page ready to go, as well as Rob. And don't forget those 3-day, 7-day, and 30-day all-access packages. I cannot stress enough how amazing they are. The value, you will never have to worry about missing out on any one of their plays. You'll always be notified way ahead of time. So jump on those now. Those 3, 7, and 30-day all-access packages. Every play, every sport delivered directly to you. All right, guys, make sure you hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. We'll be back, of course, again for the Friday edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show. Same gentleman that you're looking at here. Maybe Merrill will come in with a prop or a Wager Talk thong, or heaven forbid, I don't know what the hell he's going to bring. But he'll be in tomorrow, guys, and we'll take a look at the weekend ahead in the association. In the meantime, best of luck with your plays tonight. Come back and join us again tomorrow. We'll talk to you then.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.
I found it quick on MGM, BetMGM.